Greetings to you, everyone. How are you? How was your day? It's a pleasure to see all of you connecting today. So, Mr. William, you were serious about this matter of connecting first. So I can see that you connected first. Thank you very much. You took over Bio today. Bio, Mr. Steven first connected today. And he's welcoming you. He's welcoming you online. He said, "By the way, you are welcome." It's a pleasure to see all of you. How was your day? And I'm so delighted to have all of you connecting for today's training. My name once again is Ambassador Tahole Joshua. I am the registrar of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and this has been our free 1 month professional diploma training in peace and conflict management. We have been doing this to empower our members or our community people with skills to be able to resolve conflicts. And there's a good news for this training today. For those of you that are that have participated in this training, after you take your examination, you are going to be issued a nominal membership certificate. A nominal membership certificate. That's you are going to receive an affiliate membership certificate. That makes you a member of the institute. It's just that you may not be able to do a lot. You will not hold a position. You cannot practice because you don't have a license and all of that. Do you understand? But you become a nominal member of the institute. So if you want to become a licensed member, you can apply for the membership induction that are ongoing so that you can be licensed. But at the end of this training, we're going to give you the 2 certificates. One will be the nominal membership certificate, and then the second one will be the professional diploma certificate. Do you understand? So that will make you to become a member of the institute. And then it's just that you cannot hold a position in your chapter. Do you understand? You cannot hold a position in your chapter. You cannot practice, but you can go out on advocacy program with the chapter where you are in your country. You join the team there to go out on advocacy, participate in other activities, but you cannot hold position. You cannot practice. Do you understand? So until you become a licensed member that you can practice. So that's what that means. So we are doing this to make sure that we have people holding the membership certificate of the institute around the world, so that can give you the basis upon which you can be able to speak confidently about peace. And then also it can also ginger you to take steps to become a licensed member. Do you understand? There's a whole lot to do with being licensed. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So I want to appreciate all of you. I want to congratulate all of you in advance for this. This is a new initiative, right? It's a new initiative. We are doing it to encourage those of you that have taken time to participate and be part of this institute. Do you understand? It's a lot of sacrifice for you to connect every day online to learn, and also that is you have desire, you have passion for learning, and also you have passion for peace. So it's something to appreciate, and this is the way we can appreciate you. So for those of you that are not yet members of the institute, once you finish this training, we're going to issue a nominal certificate to you to become a nominal member. But for those of you that are already members, licensed members, we are not going to issue you that certificate. We'll just issue you the professional diploma certificate. That's all. Do you understand? To add to your CV. So that's it. So thank you very much once again. Thank you for connecting for today's training, the free online professional diploma training in peace and conflict management, being organized by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. The training is aimed at empowering community people with the right skills to be able to resolve conflict at different levels, from family, at family level, community level, societal level, and organizational level. Do you understand? So that is what it is. Yes, there is going to be, Mr. Steven, you're asking, William, you're asking whether there is a different training to be given to someone that is going to be licensed. Yes, we have what we call advanced training. This is just the basic. The training you are taking here is a basic. There are advanced training, all right? So what means is that we have more modules to cover when you are attending the professional training, all right? Advanced mode, and there are other trainings that you take, and then there's what we call the continuous professional development trainings. If you are a licensed member, you undergo a continuous professional development training continuously. So these are the things. So being a licensed member, you have different privileges that that a nominal member cannot have. Do you understand? A nominal member cannot participate in a continuous professional development training, cannot participate in other activities, just limited. They are just limited. They are restricted on what they can do, but they are holding at least the lowest membership status of the institute, and that is it. So that's why it is. So we want to appreciate all of you for taking time to connect, and we hope to give you the best today. So today, what are we looking at? Today we are in module 4, and we are going to look at conflict prevention strategies. Conflict prevention strategies. This is what we're looking at today. Conflict prevention strategies. Conflict prevention strategies. But before we do that, let me acknowledge those of you that have connected so far, so that you will not be angry with me for not recognizing you. All right, we have William Steven from South Sudan. He told me the last time that he was going to be the first to connect today, and he did that. He beat Bio today, and he was welcoming Bio. He said, Bio, you are welcome. And then we have Bio from Akure, Nigeria, Ondo, that is Ondo State. We have Onyibuchi Friday from Abuja. We have Katanga, Dr. Katanga from Namibia, thank you. We have John Saba from South Sudan, Juba. We have Tarisom, that is Tarisom from Abia State. We have Ambassador Ayodele Bandele from Kogi State, Nigeria. We have Hiking Simon from South Sudan. Thank you for joining us. We have Godia Ibrahim. Godia, thank you for joining. You apply for a master's program. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. And then we have who is this? John Ukbo also. Then we have we have Fedrex Maker from Kenya. We have Tadere from Ethiopia. We have Sati. All right. We have Sati from Benue. We have Eden from Zambia. We have Emmanuel Edet from Akwa Ibom. And then we have Ambassador Amos. One day we have from Lagos, we have Emmanuel Mabasa from South Africa. We have Alexander Bani from Abia. We have Solomon from Kenya. Solomon, you're welcome. Then we have my friend Chumuka from Zambia. Thank you for joining. We have Ben Zach from Lagos. That is Ambassador Ben Zach. Thank you for connecting. We have Kanchio from Namibia. We have Ambassador Asobo Tamba from Cameroon. Thank you for joining. We have Abdul Fattah Bello from Adamawa. We have Kingsley Agundu from Port Harcourt, River State. And then we have Oka Patti from Port Harcourt as well. We have Dr. Regina Kwelibe from Anambra. We have Robert from Yaoundé, Cameroon. We have Ekuma Eda from Afikpo South in Ebonyi State. So what is the crisis? What is the crisis situation in Afikpo now? We are doing a documentary on the crisis happening between Eda and Afikpo. All right. That is Amasli and also. So we are doing a documentary on that. I think it will be out over the weekend. So just stay tuned so that you listen to the documentary on the conflict in Ebonyi State in between the Afikpo and the local government. So we are working on a documentary. If you have anything tangible to share with us concerning the conflict, you can still go ahead and share that information with us. Maybe you can chat me on WhatsApp with more information and details of the situation. It will help us to work on the documentary very well. Thank you. We have gathered some of our members have given us some information, but we still need more. If we can have with pictures and videos that can help us to work the documentary well. Thank you from Afikpo. Then we have Ambassador Abid God's Power from Abia. We have Sani D. Mohammed from Bauchi State. We have who again? Who again? All right, Amechi from Edo State. We have Matthew Buan from Benue State. We have Ademola Ayodeji. Thank you for joining from Port Harcourt. Thank you. Wishing me happy birthday. Thank you, Inaleas. Ambassador Utu from Cameroon. Thank you. We have Judith Igbam from Benue State. Thank you, Judith, for connecting. We have Ambassador Gloria Odiete. He's a member from Lagos. We have Ambassador Hansen Omar Issa. Thank you for joining from Kano, Omar. Thank you. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. And then we have Otto Obong Eyo from Akwa Ibom. Thank you. We have Ambassador Andrew Hinga. Thank you for connecting all the way from live here. We have Jacob Edongisit. Thank you. Thanks to every one of you that have taken time to connect. Ambassador Fajobi, Cecilia, thank you for connecting. And then Christian Nikwa, thank you for connecting. We appreciate all of you. Abagu Mambila, thank you. And thank you, Henry Pepe, thank you. I appreciate you. And then our coordinator in Lesotho, Nela Fusi, thank you for connecting. We appreciate all of you for connecting. So today, what are we looking at? We are looking at Module 4, and we're looking at conflict prevention strategies. So let's look at what Unit 1 is talking about. So in Unit 1, we'll be looking at preventive diplomacy. Preventive diplomacy. I think a lot of us want to know what preventive diplomacy is all about, because conflict shouldn't be allowed to get to a point whereby it becomes destructive. Do you understand? Prevention should come first. We should put everything in place to make sure that conflict do not extend the stage of misunderstanding. Do you understand? You should not extend the stage of misunderstanding to a point where it gets into destructive stage. But most of the times, we come to react after conflict has escalated into destructive stage before we come to intervene, which is not correct. So we should be putting measures in place to make sure that de-escalation tactics are being put in place to make sure that conflict does not exceed misunderstanding stage. Because we say that conflict are in layers, all right? And the first layer is what? Misunderstanding. So whatever we can do to make sure that conflict does not exceed that layer, which is misunderstanding, it is better and it's perfect. But by the time conflict begins to, progress from the first layer of misunderstanding to differences in interest, differences in goals, differences in opinions, and all of that, then it becomes so difficult to deal with. Do you understand? Differences in value system. Do you understand? It becomes so difficult to deal with. So that's why we should not allow conflict to exceed the point of what of misunderstanding. That is the first layer, and that is where we are going to be looking at today: preventive diplomacy. This is what we're going to focus our attention on: how to prevent conflict from moving, prevent conflicts from moving to a stage of destruction. Do you understand? This is what we're going to look at today, and I'm very happy that you are here to be part of this training. All right, let's look at it. What are the learning objectives? Explain the concept of preventive diplomacy. At the end of this training, we expect you to explain what the concept of what preventive diplomacy. Number two, you should be able to identify and describe key preventive diplomacy mechanisms. Number three, you should be able to differentiate between track 1, track 2, and track 3 what diplomacy. I think you are going to, it's going to be interesting training today. All right, so can you hear me? Are you people hearing me? Somebody is complaining that you cannot hear me. Who else is not hearing me? I want to know who else is not hearing me. Can you all hear me? Ambassador Agnes Agbo Yusuf, can you hear me? Ambassador Francis Odusanya, can you hear me? Ambassador Winfred Eneta, can you hear me? I want to know that people are hearing me. Okay, you say loud and clear. That's good. That's good. That's fine. So let's continue. Then explain confidence building measures. Confidence what? Building measures. And then with practical what examples. That's what we're going to do. And then apply preventive diplomacy tools through what? Dialogue and role play exercise. All right, if you can be able to do that, it will help you. That's fine. Now, but let us look at what preventive diplomacy is all about. What is preventive diplomacy? Preventive diplomacy refers to actions taken to what? Prevent dispute from arising. Do you understand? That is, preventive diplomacy entails actions taken to what? Prevent dispute from what? Arising. Prevent existing dispute from escalating into violent conflict. Now, there are two things there. There are two things there I want you to understand. First and foremost, you should put measures in place to prevent conflict or dispute in the first place to arise. That's number one. Number two, in case misunderstanding ensues, there is conflict, there's a dispute, you should do all you can to make sure that it does not escalate into what? Violent conflict. Are you going to point out? Two things are involved. That is the first one. Do all you can to make sure that conflict does not arise. That's number one. Number two, if at all conflict arises, what do you do? Do all you can to make sure that it does not escalate into what? Violent conflict. That is preventive what? Diplomacy. Preventive diplomacy, again, I'm going to take the definition again, refers to actions taken to prevent dispute from arising. It also means preventing existing dispute from escalating into violent conflict and limiting the spread of conflict when it occurs. And limiting what? The spread of conflict when it occurs. And that's why sometimes government will use brigade approach to suppress violence. No, but that is not a good approach, right? That's not a good approach. But if that is necessary, you can use it. And government always use it as a matter of necessity. Do you understand? They say that is for the immediate. That is for the what? Immediate. When we're carrying out conflict analysis, we talk about the immediate action. All right. What should be done after you are conducting your analysis? What should be the immediate action? So sometimes government may look at it and say, okay, what we need to do is to use a brigade approach. Let's quell the protest. Let's deal with the protest so that it will not escalate into destructive protests. Do you understand? So they disperse protesters and disperse them and all of that. And then but the challenge with the government is that sometimes they disperse the protesters, but they don't engage them to find out the root cause of the problem and address the root cause of the problem. That is the challenge with the government. Once the protesters disappear from the street, government go back and relax and wait for another problem to come so that they can still send the police and the soldiers to go and disperse the protesters. That's what government does. Without finding out the root cause of a particular problem and addressing it. Do you understand? So this is what we're going to look at here. So preventing diplomacy limits the spread of what? Conflict, violent conflict. All right. So the concept was popularized by former UN Secretary General Boutros Ghali. The concept was popularized by what? Former UN Secretary General Boutros Ghali in an attempt, all right, for peace, all right, in an agenda for peace, all right, 1992. Boutros Ghali, do you understand? He was the one that popularized this concept, and it was to make sure that peace take its full course and not conflict. So he makes sure that he brought about the concept of preventive diplomacy to make sure that measures are put in place, mechanisms have been deployed to make sure that conflict does not escalate. So let's deal with the conflict at the lowest level of it, at the misunderstanding stage. Let's deal with it there. Let's address it there so that it does not escalate to any to become a violent conflict. All right. Preventive diplomacy emphasizes early engagement. It emphasizes what? Early engagement, dialogue, negotiation, mediation, and confidence building rather than reactive or force-based responses. Are you at the point now? Preventive diplomacy emphasizes early engagement. Where you notice there is a misunderstanding, engage quickly. Where you notice there is a misunderstanding, dialogue should be deployed. Where you see there is misunderstanding, negotiation should be engaged, it should be deployed. And where there's an issue that requires mediation should be taking place. And confidence building rather than reactive or force-based responses should be put in place. Do you understand? So instead of waiting until conflict happens and then it is degenerating and escalating into a different stage and then you begin to react, it shouldn't be so. We should be able to rise quickly to look into the matter and then resolve it. That's how it should be. That's the concept of preventive diplomacy. Do you understand? That's the concept of what? Preventive diplomacy. And that's the reason why, as an institute, we are establishing what we call the Mediation Center. The Mediation Center, maybe very soon we'll start mediating. Some of the mediation we will do it live. Some may be done behind the scene. Do you understand? But depending on the nature, we may do it, openly, so that you can also see. Some may be done behind based on their sensitivity. And then, but we are establishing a mediation center to enable people to report the issues in their communities. If there's any issue that you notice that has to do with communal issue, that maybe land disputes, and people have been struggling or their argument and it's looking like tensions rising, then you call us, report us, and then we engage the various communities to make sure that the conflict is resolved as much as possible. And then family dispute, commercial trade dispute, workplace dispute, you can engage our mediation center and it will help to resolve the conflict. Do you understand? So this is what we are doing. So we are establishing the center. So if you have trade dispute, you can report to us for assistance and we can be able to. Our website is soon will be out. The new website, we are building a new website. When you see it, there's a provision for that. So you can fill the form and then let us know your challenge and we can attend to you. Do you understand? So these are the issues. So the essence is to make sure that conflict does not escalate to become destructive before we begin to do something. We should be able to address conflict at its word base, so that it does not cause destruction before we rise to do something. Do you understand? So that's it. So, and then we are in every of our, we are doing global peace update news now. Some of those news, when you listen to them at the end of it all, we'll talk about the mediation center, so that it will create awareness about it, so that people will get to know. So if we share our news, global peace update, help us to share it so that people can get to know about the mediation center, so that it can help them. It's practically free. The services we are going to be offering are going to be practically free, except maybe for logistic issues that may require. Otherwise, it's going to be free. Do you understand? Practically free. So let's look at some key concepts. All right, please, before we progress, if you just join us, please do wait to share the link to at least 5 groups, and also put it on your wall. Invite your friends, your followers to also join, and then also share it to some other groups to allow people to join. It's going to give us more visibility, and then also react. Do you understand? React. Also engage in the comment section, paraphrase what you understand, and all of that to go a long way to help us. Thank you very much for doing that. So let's look at key concept: preventive diplomacy mechanisms. Preventive diplomacy mechanisms. These are tools and approaches used to anticipate and address tensions before violence erupts. These are tools and approaches used to anticipate and address tensions before violence erupts. Do you understand? So you don't wait for violence to erupt before you do something, but you anticipate. There are some mechanisms you put in place to anticipate and to address. So when you anticipate, when you detect, you understand? When you detect, when you sense something is happening, and this thing is going to take in a dimension that if nothing is being done, is going to cause destruction, then you do something. Do you understand? You do something to forestall the breakdown of peace. Do you understand? So that's what you do. So we are talking about preventive diplomacy mechanism. There are tools you put in place. So we're going to look at those tools. Examples include early warning and fact-finding missions. Early warning and fact-finding mission. Fact-finding mission. Early warning and fact-finding missions. So if you go on a fact-finding mission, which we are also planning to go to some places that conflicts have the call to, on a fact-finding mission to know what happened. All right, so that we can come up with base or ways to make sure that such does not happen again in those communities. Do you understand? Prevention. Then we have what we call early warning. Early warning, you should be able to call alarm on certain issues. Do you understand? So we're also going to do a documentary on that electoral law. We'll look at the strength of that law. we look at the witnesses, we look at the potholes and the dangers that law portrays. Already we know it, but we will still make some provisions of what government should do, or next time when it's being considered for reform or amendment, it should be considered. Do you understand? And then we have what we call shuttle diplomacy. Shuttle what? Diplomacy. Shuttle diplomacy means that you are going to deploy what we call caucusing in mediation. Caucusing in mediation means that you meet with the parties involved privately. That is, you are shuffling from one person to another. You are not meeting them as a group, maybe because the tension is too high. So you cannot bring the parties together to discuss. So you are meeting with them individually. So you are shuttling from one place to another to engage the parties, the primary parties involved in the conflict. Do you understand? So that's what we call shuttle what diplomacy. You shuttle from one person to another, one party to another, to engage them, to discuss with them. So you discuss with party A today, you discuss with party B tomorrow. Do you understand? That's what we call shuttle diplomacy. I think in mediation we call it caucusing. Caucus. When you talk about caucusing, that is, you are engaging the parties to the conflict differently. You are not that is, maybe you are discussing with them at a point you discover that where there is a particular issue that they're finding it difficult maybe to talk together and agree. So maybe the tension is rising. You say, okay, hold on, I would like to meet with you people individually. Or maybe you get to a point where they are stuck in the conversation, in the process of mediation. Then you have to decide to, like, okay, engage them individually. Do you understand? Before you continue, and or you bring them back together to continue. We call that thing caucusing. All right. So that is it. And then but we have what we call shuttle diplomacy. So shuttle diplomacy looks like caucusing. Do you understand? They actually serve the same purpose. Then we have what we call mediation and negotiation. Mediation and negotiation is also one of those mechanisms, do you understand, that you put in place to make sure that, yes, that is the correct spelling, Prince Tamba, caucusing. That is it. So it's negotiation and mediation help you to also carry out early interventions where necessary to make sure that conflict does not escalate. So if there's something that you need to mediate, you mediate, facilitate or a conversation to make sure that the conflict ends. And then if there's need for negotiation, you have to negotiate to make sure that what is needed to be done is done. Do you understand? So we have what we call special envoys and good offices. Special what? Envoys and what? Good offices. I think now the former president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, I think he's head of missions. Do you understand? He's the head of missions, and that's what they do. They go on special what? Envoys, special envoys. I pray that one of very soon some of our members will be opportune to serve in such kind of capacities. Do you understand? So we need to build capacity to be able to get those kind of opportunities, high level diplomatic missions. Do you understand? Special envoys. You know, that's why I told you former President Goodluck Jonathan is saying that. But I believe that some of our members one day we also have the opportunity. Just aspire to become something. Just do something. Just be interested. Do you understand? Take steps. When you receive knowledge, for knowledge to be effective, you have to apply it. Take steps. Take steps. Don't just collect license of the institute. Don't just collect the membership of the institute and then go down and sit and relax. No. Take steps. And with the support of the certificate and the document you have, when someone sees it, you know, oh, this person is prepared. This person can serve. This person can be able to serve as an ambassador. This person can be able to serve as a high commissioner to represent the country. Do you understand? This person can be able to serve in the consulate unit. So you can have those kind of opportunities to go and serve. Do you understand? So that's what it is. So aspire to become something. Don't just collect certificate and then collect this kind of knowledge and then sit and be relaxing. No, take steps. Challenge yourself to take steps, no matter what. Just be interested. Do you understand? Be interested. Then we have what we call preventive deployment of peace missions. So peacekeeping missions can also be carried out to prevent conflicts from escalating into what full-fledged violence. Do you understand? So that is why it is. So let's move forward. Let's move forward. So let's look at track 1, track 2, and track 3 diplomacy. When we talk about track 1, track 2, and track 3 diplomacy, what are we referring to? What are we talking about? Track 1, track 2, and track 3 what? Diplomacy. What are we talking about? Let's look at it. Track 1 diplomacy is also what we call official diplomacy. Official what? Diplomacy. In this case, this particular diplomacy is conducted by governments, heads of state, diplomats, and international organizations, former officials, and state-led. Do you understand? This one is being carried out by government officials. Do you understand? It's carried out by government officials, so the appointee of government that serve in foreign missions. Do you understand? That's what they do here. International organizations like the UN, the ECOWAS, the African Union, do you understand? They're the ones that serve in this track. Track 1 diplomacy is official, right? It's being conducted by states, head of states. Do you understand? States are the actors here, and representatives of the states are the actors here. We call it what? Track 1 diplomacy. What we can simply call it official diplomacy. Do you understand? And then we have some examples here. We have peace talks mediated by what? The African Union between Sudanese parties. Do you understand? This is more or less like international organization intervention, because African Union is an international organization. Do you understand? So it conducted that. It can be a government official, such like maybe an ambassador, all right, or a foreign minister. Do you understand? That or a high commissioner. Do you understand? That can, or a diplomat of a sort can also do that. That's track 1 diplomacy. Let's look at what track 2 diplomacy said. Track 2 diplomacy has to do with it also refers to unofficial, informal diplomacy. All right, is what? Unofficial and informal diplomacy. I think Obasanjo once used this particular track to use his own personal influence. Do you understand? To resolve the conflict between the Ethiopia and the Tigray. Do you understand? When the conflict in Ethiopia was between the government and the Tigray was ongoing, Obasanjo went to Ethiopia to see how he can intervene. He went on his own accord. We call that we call it unofficial or informal diplomacy. It is still work. Do you understand? Because people of repute will come in to intervene, but they are not representing any government. They come on their own accord. They come based on their own influence to see what they can do to help the situation. We call that track 2 diplomacy. So it involves academics, NGOs, religious leaders, think tanks, and retired officials. All right, retired officials. Informal dialogue aimed at what? Building understanding and influencing track 1. Do you understand? So this could be international organizations or NGOs, like not international organizations, NGOs, academics. Do you understand? And then religious leaders, all right, or traditional rulers. They can go on this, or think tanks. They can do that. NGOs can do it. Do you understand? So, example, faith-based organization facilitating what? Dialogue between, disputing parties. That's it. It can go a long way to help. So we call it unofficial or informal diplomacy. That's it. And then track 2, we call it track 3. We call it on diplomacy. at the grassroots level. Do you understand? People to people diplomacy. People to what? People diplomacy. So it involves local communities, youth groups, women's association, and civil society. Focuses on what? Reconciliation, trust building, and social cohesion. This is what this track is all about. Involves local communities talking their own problem, all right, discussing their own problem. Groups, youth groups, going out to do something for their own community, all right, taking steps to solve their own problems, all right. That's called it people to people diplomacy. Do you understand? So it focuses on reconciliation. That's the major goal, is to reconcile the parties within the community. There's no need for us to be fighting each other. Let's stay together. Let's build together. Let's live together. You understand? They, on their own, at the community level, engage themselves to make sure that they solve their own problem at the local level. Do you understand? That's what it calls grassroots diplomacy, or people-to-people diplomacy. It is grassroots based. Do you understand? Because the goal is to reconcile. The goal is to build trust. The goal is to enshrine social cohesion in the community. Do you understand? That's why it is. That is track 3 diplomacy. So let's look at examples. Community peace committees resolving farmer headers disputes at local levels. Do you understand? So we have track 1, we have track 2, we have track 3 diplomacy. And by way of a summary, we say that track 1 diplomacy is more or less official diplomacy, is being conducted by government officials, all right? Why in track 2 we talk about diplomacy that takes place but it's unofficial and it's quite informal, but NGOs can do it, religious leaders, traditional rulers, and retired officials of government who have some influence can still go ahead and do something. Do you understand? That's why it is. And then we talk about track 3 diplomacy that has to do with grassroots diplomacy, where people resolve their own problem at the local levels. They create strategies at their own local levels to solve their own problems. Do you understand? That's why it is. Let's look at other key concepts. Ambassador Dominic, you're welcome. Dominic, you're welcome. Godwich from what? Ethiopia, thank you. Okon Junior, thank you. I will appreciate all of you. So let's look at another concept, which is confidence building measures. Confidence building measures. What does it entail? Confidence building measures are actions designed to reduce fear. An action designed to do what? Reduce fear, reduce mistrust and suspicion among parties in conflict. All right. Yeah, you are telling them, don't worry, nothing will happen. We are here. No. Now, we have ways to protect you. No, these people are here to make sure that your safety is guaranteed. Do you understand? So nobody's coming to attack you. There's no problem. You are well protected. We are watching over you. Your matter is our matter now. So nobody is coming to take it, or nobody is coming to harass you or do anything. That is confidence building. Do you understand? So by so saying, it will encourage someone to remain, hopeful. To remain hopeful that the situation is going to turn out for good. Do you understand? Instead of being afraid and anxious, and then, and that in that state of anxiety cause problems. Do you understand? So that's why it is. So let's look at types of CBMs. We talk about communication channels. That's hotlines. All right. So hotlines. Okay. Please take this number in case you see something or you hear something. Just inform us quickly. that is, you are reducing fear from that person. So anytime there's an incident, the person will call you automatically. Do you understand? The person will call you one hand, and then the issue will be attended to. Do you understand? We're going to get to that point in our mediation effort. Do you understand? By the time we have our state chapters, where our state chapters are functioning fully well. In fact, we are doing a new election. For those of you that are members, those of you that are members in your state where you are, please start warming up if you are interested to serve in any capacity as a state chapter chairman, as a secretary, as a youth leader, as a woman leader in your chapter. Please just prepare yourself because we're going to do that election very soon. We will announce it in our membership WhatsApp group so that you can start warming up. Those of you that are interested, we are working on a form so that you can express your interest, and then pick the form, and then we'll have interview with you. Yes, we're going to interview you this time around by ourselves. We'll screen you. All right. You may not necessarily travel to Abuja, but we are going to screen you. The national headquarters is going to screen you, and then also we're going to interview you by ourselves to see what vision you hold for chapter when you come for the interview. So if you are interested and you are a member of the institute, licensed members, if you are a licensed member in any of the states you are and you want to serve in any capacity, I think you have the constitution. Check the constitution, you see the position and what responsibilities are expected of the state chapter officials. So once you are interested, why not? You can get yourself ready. So once the announcement is made, you can begin to apply to be part of it. Do you understand? So that's it. So once we have these chapters functioning well, I'm talking about CBMs, right? Confident contact our mediation centers fleet can be handled without any form of conflict of interest and without delay. Do you understand? So, and it can be handled at a very, very, very zero cost. Do you understand? Possibly zero cost. All right. So we talk about joint committees or commissions. Yes, like for instance, now the commission of inquiry can be set. A commission of inquiry, a judicial commission of inquiry can be set, or a reconciliation commission such that was formed in South Africa, such that was formed in Rwanda after the Civil War. Do you understand? So Nigeria, after the Civil War, did not form such kind of reconciliation commissions to settle problems. They rather went ahead to create federal character commission. Federal character commission cannot serve the purpose. It cannot reconcile people. Do you understand? Because the character commission itself is characterless. Do you understand? That character commission, characterless commission. Sorry, so to say. I don't know whether somebody working with the commission will be here, and then you'll be feeling angry with me. But don't be angry with me if I say it's characterless. Do you understand? Don't be angry. Because we have not been seeing their work. Their work has not united us. Neither has it solved the issue of imbalance in appointment in government or even in employment system. So it has not solved the problem. So it is a characterless word commission. So, but, but in other places, you see the Truth Reconciliation Commission or commission that was formed in South Africa, in Rwanda, they were able to resolve their problem. Do you understand? And then justice was served and then what do you call it? Restitution was also done. Do you understand? So, and then the issue was resolved. Like that of Puta Pane, somebody is giving us example. Like that of Puta Pane. The challenge with us, we'll set a committee we say the commission, they'll come up with good ideas to see how we can solve our own problem. That's why Jonathan came up with the national conference. The conference came, good things were discussed in the conference, but at the end of the day, nothing was implemented, nothing. So that's why we are still in disarray. And this is the reason why some of us have taken up this kind of challenge to be doing what we are doing now. In a little way, we can influence people, can ginger people, can contribute to the knowledge of the population about peace and conflict. That will help us to unite our nation. That will help us to build a nation whereby everybody will desire to be there. Do you understand? That's why some of us are doing this. Because I believe that if you understand and you have knowledge in peace and conflict resolution, then you'll not be able to do certain things. You will exercise you just look at it that no, I'm a peace ambassador. Able to influence positive results. That's what we're looking at. Are we making sense? Right. So let's move forward. Committees or commission, transparency in military or political actions. Transparency in military or political action. You see what happened at Toll Gate in Lagos? Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows who gave the order, but actions were taken. And up to today, nobody has been held accountable for what happened at the Toll Gate, Lekki Toll Gate. Do you understand? So these are the issue. So there's no transparency. Or whatever political action are being taken, we don't know what is happening. We don't know. So much secrecy. Do you understand? And then, of course, the government is being run on lies to a point that one minister was appointed and his name was Lai Mohammed, lying machine, Lai Mohammed. Do you understand? Lying machine, Lai Mohammed. Okay, lying machine, okay, Lai Mohammed. Okay, you can imagine. So he used to confuse us very well. That man, he used to confuse us. You can imagine. So these are some of the things. Government being run on lies instead of what? Transparency and accountability. So your action, you should be accountable for it. All right. Confident. What? So we're looking at types of what? CBMs. So let things be done transparently. It will build confidence. Then cultural and what? Sports exchanges. Ruth, why are you are looking for trouble? Ruth, you are saying Lai Muhammad. Me, I didn't say it. I only say Lai machine. So if we mention somebody name, they come catch you now. Now hate speech. They say, okay, you are doing hate speech. Oh, you are doing cyber bullying. But this one is a class, so nobody will prosecute you, right? So we are in a class. So whatever we say in a class remains in a class. Whatever happened in Vegas remains in what? In Vegas. Do you understand? It's only when something happened in Chatham that we go out. The Chatham house, once it happened there, it must fly. But in Vegas, whatever is discussed in Vegas remains in what? Vegas. That's it. So cultural and sport exchanges can also is one of those types of what? Confidence building. Today, I learned that there's a cricket World Cup that is ongoing, and India and Pakistan will be playing a match. Do you understand? I know Pakistan and India have been on the loggerhead for a while. Do you understand? So, but we hope that match will unite them. That match will go a long way to unite India and Pakistan once again. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about, cultural and sports exchange. So it will go a long way to help. In fact, we are working on something, a documentary on that. the conflict between India and Pakistan, and how that cricket World Cup game is going to unite the two countries that have been, at the loggerhead for a very, very long time now. All right. So economic cooperation can also go a long way to help people to, relate together, to also do business together, and then build peace together. Are you people hearing at all? You are not commenting. You are not saying something. Are you not understanding me? I'm mentioning some types of CBMs. That is confident or building what mechanism. And you people are not saying anything. I'm not saying your comment. First and foremost, we'll talk first type of CBMs I will talk about. We'll talk about communication channels. Communication what? Channels. Communication what? Channels. That's hotlines. Number two, we talk about joint committees or commission. Joint what? Committees or commission. We talk about transparency in military or political actions. Do you understand? We're talking about types. And then we'll talk about cultural and sports what? Exchanges. Cultural and sport exchanges is another type. And then we'll talk about economic cooperation. It's also another type. All right. So, for example, joint border patrol and information sharing between neighboring states can go a long way to prevent what nasty crashes. Do you understand? So that's what it is. Let's look at another concept. We looked at this concept yesterday, but we're still going to look at it. We're looking at early warning and early action. That's what we call early warning and early action. That's why police will say, if you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. Because if you say something early, there is possibility that something can be done early. Do you understand? So early warning and early action. So warning should be, that is, we should be able to anticipate and should be able to detect violence that are not yet that have not manifested yet, but we should be able to detect them. The underlying structures, those underlying social structures that constitute an act of violence. You understand? So you need to identify them, and when you identify them, you take action. That is, you anticipate and take action. Do you understand? Early warning system. Early warning system. You anticipate and you take action. Do you understand? Go a long way to help. So let's look at preventive diplomacy relies heavily on detecting warning signs such as hate speech. So somebody called Lai Muhammad here. Now hate speech. If they come catch you now, now hate speech. You say, oh, one president been promised us to feed us with agbado. Today I wanted to buy agbado. They say agbado na 400, roasted corn 400. But one president promised that he was going to feed us with corn, agbado. Today I wanted to buy agbado today like this, roasted corn 400, small one like this. So not be poor man food again. No. You understand? So I think be that. So hate speech. When you see hate speech, oh, somebody say, hey, the North should go back to the North. Like something that was happening in Rivers State or recent. They say, oh, the Northerners must go. Northerners must go. Aboki must go. That is hate speech. How can you be telling a Nigerian to leave his country simply because in your state? It's not correct. It's not done like that. It shouldn't be done like that. You understand? They have the right to stay wherever they have to stay. Just that if there's conflict, we must find the better way to resolve it, not to say Aboki must go or not to say Nyamiri people must go. You know, if it happens in the north, they will say, oh, the Igbos must go. Oh, everybody must leave. Leave them. Leave Fuya. This is our Nigeria. We all are part and parcel of this country. And we can stay anywhere and do business anywhere. But while you are there, conduct yourself what? Peacefully. Conduct yourself peacefully. And if there's any act of violence, what do? You should be able to detect it and then address it. You understand? So we talk about hate speech. We talk about political exclusion. Political exclusion. When you say political exclusion, was it not yesterday? One of the chiefs from the southeast was talking with the Mr. President. He said, Mr. President, you see, I saw one person from the southwest who seems to be like a counterpart of the one in the southeast. But the other one in the southwest is about to be given a chieftaincy title, while the other one in the southeast is rotting somewhere in prison in Sokoto, and so he should be released. Do you understand? So political exclusion. And then, of course, when people are being marginalized, when people are being excluded, it causes agitation. That's why you see the Southeast agitating, right? As one of the major tribes in Nigeria, the Southeast will not even afford number 4 position in this country. The only thing position that they can manage, that we can talk now that they are managing, is the deputy speaker. The deputy speaker. You understand? So this is what it is. So it's political exclusion. Then let's look at resource competition. Resource what competition? Oh, when people are competing over land issue, competing over the river line areas, competing over this thing. These are signs. These are early signs that we should talk about, that should be addressed. But you know, in our system here, we don't want to address those issues. We just want to manipulate them, want to use them to rise to power. We see religious proclamations that are quite inflammatory, but we don't care. We don't want to address them. We want to use them. We want to ride on that, manipulate them, use it for our own advantage, right to power. Do you understand? Election, related tension are also good examples of what early warning signs. So we should be able to detect those signs and then take action. The earlier you detect the sign, the earlier you take the action, the earlier the problem will be addressed. Are we making the point? Are we making sense? So let's look at another key area here. We're looking at the role of international and regional organization. The role of what? The role of international and regional organization. Organizations such as the United Nations, organizations such as what? African Union, are the ones we're talking about. International organizations such as what? African Union, United Nations. ECOWAS also play vital and critical roles through what? Mediation, sanctions, diplomatic pressures, and peace missions. So this is just a diagrammatic explanation of what preventive diplomacy. So when you see government, state actors, what you see there is track 1 diplomacy. Where you see NGOs, religious leaders, what you see there is what? Track 2 diplomacy. And when you see communities, citizens, what you see there is track 3 diplomacy. You understand? And then we're still looking at some pictorial explanation. We look at conflict escalations and preventive action. So tension, dispute, crisis, violence, that's the level of escalation. Do you understand? So preventive diplomacy can raise, but these are the various stages conflict arose. You know, just it's moved from tension, that is a point of disagreement, to disputes, to crisis, to violence. Do you understand? So you should be able to deal with that cycle to be able to address conflict. So, but you can do something, you can dialogue, you can, can intervene. Let's look at practical focus, role play, preventive dialogue, scenario. All right, let's look at this scenario here. Two neighboring communities are experiencing rising tension over land use and access to water resources. Role: community leaders, government representatives, civil society, mediators, youth and women representatives. Objectives: use, dialogue, and confidence building mechanism to prevent this conflict from from turning to violence. Do you understand? So skills develop. All right. Active listening, you must play active listening. You must show negotiation skills, mediation skills, and and consensus building to go a long way to help. So in a summary form, let's look at summary of Unit 1 of Module 4. We say that preventive diplomacy focuses on early action to stop conflicts from turning into violence. Then we'll talk about track 1, track 2, and track 3 diplomacies. Talk about confidence building mechanisms or measures. We say they are essential for reducing mistrust, dialogue, and the rest of them are there. So this is the much we can take today. And this is Unit 1. This is the much we can take today. Any question? Any questions? Any contribution? Any observation? Any contribution? So it's possible that we have 1 or 2 modules left to share with you before your exams. And for the sake of those that just joined us, we say that if you're not a licensed member of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, at the end of this training, we're going to give you a professional diploma certificate. I also will give you our affiliate membership certificate. You not become an affiliate member of the Institute, but that membership certificate refers to as a nominal membership certificate. You cannot hold any position. You cannot represent the institution at some level. You cannot practice because you don't have a license. Do you understand? But you are a nominal member. When we are counting members of the institute, you'll be counted as one of them. All right. And possibly we are going to, once you receive a nominal membership certificate, we are going to add you in a particular groups, or maybe we'll create a Telegram group where we add our nominal members. And then so that at the end of the day you want to move from nominal member to become a licensed member, it will not be difficult. You just channel, it's just going to be a channel for you just to cross easily and become a licensed member. Do you understand? But you can participate in the activities of this. You can attend meetings, you can attend their advocacy program, participate in humanitarian activities of the Institute, participate in activities organized by the Institute in terms of or International Day of Peace celebration, or all of that. You can participate in all of that, but you cannot hold leadership position and you cannot practice because you don't have a license. So, but you are a member of the institute on the basis of that explanation, nominal member. Do you understand? So I'm going to give you that certificate to accompany the professional diploma you receive. So once we want to become a licensed member, our induction will be coming up from April to May. Try and become a licensed member. All right, try and become a licensed member. So we want to sincerely thank you for connecting and staying put from the beginning to the end. Have a wonderful night rest. Somebody's asking, are we going to be giving handout? Continue to be listening to what we are sharing with you here. If there's going to be a handout, we'll look into it. For now, continue to listen to what we are giving to you here, and we hope that it will help you.